Hello everyone, Bean here with this. Just go through the pedals there. I let it repeat one more time. Yeah. Yeah, well, that just made up my mind. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to my playing, so you know, you can criticize as much as you want about that. I was just focusing on going through the pedals and hearing it, playing through the Fender Deluxe Hot Rod Deluxe 40 watt. Went from clean, which I played a good part of the time, and then I started messing with the pedals, and then I just finally kicked on the dirt. Bright sounding. It does make a difference to have the Jensen speaker in there. Yeah, the clarity on that is fantastic. So what I was using again was the Electro harmonics, the hot wax. So I went from the green side, that's like a copy of a tube screamer, and then I went to the hot tube side that I don't even know what really, here it is. Here's without it. Turn off the delay. The reverb is still, all the knobs are on the back of the amp, so once I stacked it with these two, I can't get to it. So whatever settings it's on, it's stuck. So of course that's louder than the 30, which is fine. So here's the hot tube side. As if you just turned it up to 10. Really, you know, if I put more of the gain on, you hear it. I turned it up all the way. It just brings up the volume. So, you know, and the green side, that's it. And again, the drive is at 10 o'clock. This is at 1 o'clock. Yeah. Anything more is that this is all the way. You know, it just brings up the volume, basically. So even with that pedal stacked with my other drives on my amps, you know, to me it's not a big deal. So I don't think that's staying on the pedal board. Bringing the Caline Orange Burst back on my board with the Demon FX attack drive, those are the two right there, you know. And this is the burst. Everything's at 9 o'clock. Again, this is a loud guitar, so this is the drive. one's a little bit more punchier, and the other one's a little bit more tamer. Tamer? You know, subdued. Yeah. So I think I don't find any. And when I stacked it again, this, you know, Electro harmonics, hot wax. With, you know, I went through the supersonic. I went through the hot rod. I went through the Marshall. I didn't go through the EVH. Because it really, you know, I don't get the appeal of it. I thought it was going to be really cool and really great. And whether I play it on the clean channel, I don't hear anything that really says, you know, it's going to own real estate on my board. And then when I stack it with my my gain, my drives on the amps, it adds nothing to it, really. So all the videos I saw on that, like I said, they all sounded different, and it, you know, not a big deal. The gain on the supersonic is they're both cascading at 7. The gain on the hot rod deluxe, I believe, is at 6, and the gain on the Marshall when I played it is it's at 11 o'clock. So, of course, the EVH 5150 Iconic 3 40 watt, I always had it at the gain at 2. And this thing here, you know, if you want something like with drive, never-ending drive, and it's not an amp that when you turn up the drive, it just sounds all the same. I played through amps where, you know, if you're at 9 o'clock, if you're at 12 o'clock, or if you're at 3 o'clock, or if you maxed it out, once you get to the 12 o'clock setting, from there all the way, you know, the rest of the way, it doesn't really add more, you know, different tones to your amp, where this one does. Once you know, where if you're at 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it's a different tone. You're at 12 o'clock, you're at 3 o'clock, you've got, you know, different gain settings. It's not like, you know, once you get past the halfway point, it's all like full on gain. It doesn't matter at that point. So, you know, this is, you know, if you want something with a lot more gain, a lot more punch, and you just want that Eddie Van Halen sound, this is the one. As much as I, you know, I like his playing, I don't want that gain to be a part of my sound. That's Eddie's sound. And again, if I'm going to copy someone, I'll probably copy something more like between Larry Carlton and Gary Moore, somewhere in the middle. You know, I just like something more than clean, more better. So yeah, that's about it. I think that really made the decision. Now I have to see what order I like. I think I like the order it's in now, where it's going from the burst into the attack drive. And say bye-bye, little hot wax pedal. Oh, so I didn't say it on when I made the video with an amp, you know, the other day. I didn't want to get into it, but I will now. So I pulled the trigger on a hot wax pedal. I had 2 of them saved. I had one $79. I think it was sold in Vermont. The other one was $89. That was, I think, in Colorado. So the one said good at 79 in Vermont. The one said great in Colorado for 89. And again, I was asking, you know, my guy, you know, what's my what I say ATD, out the door price, you know, with everything, you know, tax and whatever. And again, a lot of times I won't pay for shipping. So, and I've had an argument with someone before, not an argument, but I had mentioned that, and they're like, well, if you're a platinum customer, you know, then you should, but whatever. I get the platinum catalogs. I get, you know, things that says for a platinum customer. Because let's face it, I buy a lot from Guitar Center. This past 2 months, I bought like 5 guitars and 3 amps, just to give you an idea. So, yeah, I always get hooked up with that. I ordered I went to pull the trigger on the pedal, and I just wanted two nights. I wanted, 2-day air, and I figured Colorado is closer than Vermont to Florida. Even if I'm saying 2-day air, and it's, if it misses the truck that day, I might get it 3 days. Sometimes I've gotten it 4 days or 5 days, even though, it's a 2-day air. So I went with the $89 one out of Colorado that said great. And I pull the trigger on it. My guy hooks me up, sends me an email saying that, they're getting ready, or whatever that email is, pulling your order. And then about 2 hours later, I get a cancellation notice. I call up my guy, and I can't get a hold of him. Frustrating. I sent about 4 emails. I called him about 11 times. I left 11 messages. I kid you not, saying, "What's going on? What's the deal? What's up with this cancellation?" He gets in contact with the store. They can't find the pedal. The pedal that he already called to check up on before I wanted to pull the trigger on it. Oh yeah, it's here, it's ready, it's ready to go, and the whole bit. And they just got it, and they didn't have it for longer than 3 months or whatever the case may be. So there's no discount on the pedal, because I always ask that. A wealthy man, will always try to nickel and dime somebody. So I'm no better. It doesn't matter, I try to, get the best deal. So with that, he says, "Well, if you want, I can." I called the store in Vermont. They have the same pedal for $79. You just want that one? Yeah, I want that one. Let's get it going. And again, going back and forth, couldn't get a hold of him. For some reason, his number that I call him directly is a different number when he calls me. It's a 888 number or something like that, 800 number. So I had that number blocked, so I wasn't even getting his messages. That was my fault. And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." I had to wait another day because, again, he wasn't, calling me. He was calling me, but like I said, it was my fault. I had his number blocked, but he never answered any time I called him. And we were actually going back and forth with emails. So I said, "Yeah, but now, it's going to take some time." I says, "And it's after 12, and it's almost like between 12 and 1 o'clock. I says, I want it next day. Now, I don't, after the screw up. I can't believe how many times Guitar Center screws up. And I've mentioned how many orders with, this, that, and the other thing, guitars and amps." So yeah, it was shipped out. I pulled the plug. I pulled the trigger on it. I think it was Tuesday, and I got it on Wednesday. Put it on the board, and I made a video on it already. The thing that when I listened back on the video, I realized that on this pedal you've got bass and treble, and then you've got a blend knob that you could turn down and actually hear the sound of the guitar and the pedal at the same time if you're on a clean channel. So the blenders are always already up. And then, for the hot tube side, you have a volume and a gain, and then the same thing on the crayon side, you have a volume and a gain. So I misspoke on the video. So yeah, that's what happened with that particular pedal and deal. So the same thing with the Fender amp, the same thing with the 2 Schecters. I'm like, man, they're like batting 1,000 on screw ups. It's unbelievable. So yeah, that's what happened. I didn't mention it the other day. I don't know why. Probably didn't think about it. So yeah, once I'm still waiting for the other guitar that I bought privately and have to have the toggle switch replaced. I was hoping, I dropped it off Saturday. I was hoping I was going to get a call yesterday, Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Maybe today I'll get a call. Hopefully not tomorrow. But I'll discuss that situation, what happened with that, again, when I get the actual guitar. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. Have a good day and a better tomorrow.